Picture this. A neighbor slows down while driving past your house, rolls down their window, and asks what your secret is. That's the kind of jaw-dropping transformation we're creating today. And here's the kicker. You won't need a landscaping crew or a trust fund to pull it off. Just 5 plants, some containers, and about an hour of your weekend. Hey there, garden friend. Welcome back to Garden Homes, where we prove that beautiful doesn't have to mean broke. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found us. This is the channel where we turn porches from meh to magnificent without emptying your wallet. Around here, we believe your outdoor space should make you smile every single time you come home. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's talk about these 5 absolute showstoppers that'll have your porch looking like a magazine cover by next weekend. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss our weekly garden glow-ups. We've got some seriously good stuff coming your way, including a video next week about creating privacy screens with plants that cost less than a fancy dinner. Trust me, you'll want to catch that one. All right, let's get into it. Plant number 1, the statement maker. Let's kick things off with what I call the diva of the porch. And yes, every good porch design needs one. I'm talking about New Zealand flax, but not in the way you've probably seen it used before. Most people stick this beauty in the ground and forget about it, but here's where we're flipping the script. Put it in a large glazed container in a bold color that contrasts with your home's exterior. If you've got a neutral colored house, go for a deep cobalt blue or terracotta pot. Dark colored home, a white or cream container makes this plant absolutely sing. Now, why New Zealand flax? This plant has these sword-like leaves that shoot upward, creating vertical drama without taking up much horizontal space. Perfect for porches where square footage is precious. The varieties come in wild color combinations: burgundy with pink stripes, bronze with yellow edges, deep purple that's almost black. This isn't your grandmother's greenery. Here's the practical magic. It's drought-tolerant once established, which means less watering for you. It handles wind like a champ. Those stiff leaves just sway gracefully instead of shredding like other tropical-looking plants. And it stays interesting year-round, even in winter when everything else looks tired. The placement trick? Put this at one corner of your porch, slightly offset from the door. It becomes an anchor point that draws the eye and makes people naturally look towards your entrance. It's like creating a visual pathway without painting arrows on the ground. Now that's just the anchor. Wait until you see what we're pairing it with in position number 3. It's the combination that had my mail carrier asking for cuttings. But first, let's talk about adding some serious charm at eye level. Plant number 2, the eye level enchanter. Plant number 2 is where we add personality, and I'm going with something that might surprise you. Coleus. Now, before you click away thinking that's too common, hear me out because we're not using it the way everyone else does. Forget those little bedding plants you see at every big box store. We're hunting down the fancy cultivars with names like wasabi or electric coral or my personal favorite, under the sea. These aren't your basic spotted varieties. We're talking foliage so vibrant it looks photoshopped. Lime green with hot pink veins, deep purple that's almost black. This isn't your grandmother's greenery. Here's the secret to making Coleus look expensive instead of ordinary. 3 things. First, choose one bold variety and plant it alone in a statement pot. No mixing with other plants. Let it be the star. Second, go bigger than you think you need, a 12-inch pot minimum, because Coleus gets full and lush when it has room to stretch. And third, and this is crucial, pinch it regularly. Every couple of weeks, nip off the growing tips. This keeps it bushy instead of leggy, and you'll have a plant that looks professionally maintained. Place these at eye level, either hanging or on plant stands. This is where people's gaze naturally lands when they approach your porch. You want color and texture right in that zone. I usually do 2 of these flanking the door, but in different sizes to keep things interesting rather than matchy-matchy. Plant number 3 is the texture transformer. All right, plant number 3 is where we add sophistication, and this is the one that surprises people the most. Ornamental grasses. Specifically, I'm obsessed with fiber optic grass and Japanese forest grass. I know what you're thinking. Grass on a porch? But stay with me because this is where your design goes from nice to who's your landscaper. Fiber optic grass looks exactly like its name, these impossibly thin green strands topped with tiny white flowers that catch the light like, well, fiber optics. It's delicate, it's graceful, and it moves with the slightest breeze, adding motion to your display. This plant brings life to your porch in a way static plants can't. Japanese forest grass, on the other hand, has this cascading habit with leaves in shades ranging from golden yellow to lime green depending on the variety. It spills over the edges of containers like a waterfall frozen in time. Here's why grasses are game changers. They add a completely different texture from everything else in your arrangement. While your Coleus gives you broad leaves and your New Zealand flax gives you bold spikes, grasses give you softness and movement. It's the contrast that makes each plant look better. The practical side? These grasses are ridiculously low maintenance. They don't need deadheading, they rarely get pests, and they look good from spring through fall with zero fussing. The fiber optic grass especially stays evergreen in mild climates, giving you year-round interest. My placement strategy? Use these as connectors between your bigger statement plants. They fill space without overwhelming, and they soften any harsh lines from your containers or architecture. One near your New Zealand flax creates that magazine-worthy combination I mentioned earlier, the bold structure with soft, flowing movement beside it. Quick pause. If you're getting ideas for your own porch right now, smash that like button so I know this video's hitting the mark. And drop a comment telling me what color your front door is, because I read every single one, and sometimes that sparks ideas for future videos. Now, let's talk about adding some serious wow factor with vertical space. Plant number 4 takes us upward, and this is where we make your porch feel bigger without actually adding square footage. Mandevilla or black-eyed Susan vine. Both of these are flowering vines, but they couldn't be more different in personality. Mandevilla gives you these large, tropical-looking trumpet flowers in shades of pink, red, or white. It screams vacation vibes and adds instant luxury to any container. Black-eyed Susan vine, on the other hand, has smaller flowers but produces them by the hundreds. Little orange, yellow, or white blooms with dark centers that create this cheerful cottage feel. Here's the brilliant part about using vines in containers. They give you tons of visual impact without hogging floor space. You can train them up a small trellis, let them spill over from a hanging basket, or even weave them through porch railings if you have them. It's vertical gardening that doesn't require a wall-mounted system or any permanent installation. The practical genius of these particular vines? They bloom from late spring through frost, giving you months of color. Mandevilla is surprisingly drought-tolerant once established. Those thick leaves store water. And both of these vines attract pollinators like butterflies and hummingbirds, which adds that extra layer of life and movement to your space. Now here's my unconventional tip. Don't put these front and center. That's what amateurs do. Instead, position them slightly to the side or even in a back corner where they can grow upward and create this backdrop for your other plants. They become this lush flowering curtain that makes your entire porch feel more enclosed and garden-like. It's the difference between some plants on a porch and a proper outdoor room. We're almost there, but plant number 5 is the one that ties everything together. It's the finishing touch that most people skip, and that's exactly why their containers never look quite complete. This last one might seem humble, but it's secretly the MVP. Plant number 5 is what designers call the spiller, and I'm choosing Creeping Jenny or Silver Falls dichondra. These are trailing plants that cascade over the edges of your containers, softening the hard lines and making everything look established and intentional rather than just planted. Creeping Jenny comes in chartreuse yellow-green or a darker green variety, and it grows in these long tendrils covered with small, rounded leaves. Silver Falls dichondra has these incredible silvery gray leaves that catch light beautifully and create almost a waterfall effect as they drape down. Here's why this plant is crucial. Without something to spill over your container edges, even beautiful plants can look like they're sitting in buckets. That spillage softens everything, connects your containers visually to the porch floor, and adds that finished look that screams professional design. The practical brilliance? Both of these plants are nearly indestructible. they handle heat, they handle some shade, and they grow fast enough to look full within a few weeks, but not so aggressively that they take over. Plus, they're perfect for those of us who occasionally forget to water. Both bounce back beautifully after drying out. My strategy is to add one of these to any container that's large enough to support multiple plants. If your New Zealand flax is in a big pot, tuck creeping Jenny around the base. If you're doing a larger container with your Coleus, let Silver Falls spill over the front. It's that simple. And here's a bonus tip that'll save you money. These plants are super easy to propagate. Snip off a piece, stick it in water for a week until roots form, then plant it. Within one season, you can have enough trailing plants for your entire porch from a single purchased pot. So let's talk about bringing all 5 of these together, because placement is where magic happens. This isn't about randomly scattering plants around your porch, it's about creating a composition. Start with your New Zealand flax as your anchor, typically at one corner or side of your porch entrance. This creates height and draws the eye. Then position your Coleus at eye level on either side of your door. These are your color pops that people see first when approaching. Next, bring in your ornamental grass as a connector piece, placed between or near your other containers to add movement and textural contrast. Your vine goes either in a hanging basket above or in a container where it can grow up a small trellis, creating that vertical layer and backdrop. Finally, add your trailing plants to the larger containers, letting them spill over and tie everything together visually. The key principle here is working in odd numbers and varying heights. 3, 5, or 7 containers total, odd numbers are more visually pleasing than even. And make sure you've got tall elements, medium elements, and low trailing elements. This creates what designers call layering, and it's what makes the difference between amateur and professional-looking displays. One more thing about containers themselves, vary the sizes. And if you're feeling bold, even the materials. A mix of ceramic, concrete, and maybe one metal container adds interest. But keep the color palette cohesive. If you're going bold with your plants, keep containers in neutral tones. If your plants are more subtle, containers can be where you add color. And here's the real secret nobody talks about. Leave some empty space. Don't crowd every inch of your porch with plants. Negative space makes each plant stand out more and keeps your porch feeling welcoming rather than cluttered. Look, transforming your porch isn't about having the most plants or spending the most money. It's about choosing the right plants and positioning them with intention. These 5, the structural drama of New Zealand flax, the bold color of Coleus, the soft movement of ornamental grasses, the vertical interest of flowering vines, and the finishing touch of trailing plants, they work together to create something that's greater than the sum of its parts. And the beautiful thing? You can start with just 1 or 2 of these and add more as your budget allows. This isn't an all-or-nothing situation. Even just adding that New Zealand flax as an anchor point will make a noticeable difference. Here's what I want you to do this week. Walk out to your porch and really look at it. Not a glance, actually study it. Where could you add height? Where does your eye want color? What spots feel empty or awkward? Once you identify those spots, you'll know exactly which of these 5 plants to start with. The transformation you're capable of creating is bigger than you think. And every time you pull into your driveway and see your porch looking absolutely stunning, you'll remember that you did that. Not a landscaper, not a designer, you. Before you go, make sure you're subscribed because next week we're diving into creating a privacy screen with plants that cost less than installing a fence. If you've got nosy neighbors or an ugly view you want to block, you're gonna want to see that one. Drop a comment below telling me which of these 5 plants you're most excited to try. Or if you've already got one of them, share your experience. I love hearing your stories, and sometimes they inspire entire videos. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, garden friend. Until next time, keep growing, keep glowing, and remember, your dream porch is just 5 plants away.